Hi, everyone, and welcome to the PBA Global Showdown Grand Finale powered by Lane Talk. We are coming to you live from the heart of New York City here at Bolero Chelsea Piers. Today, you're going to get a double dose of Hall of Fame commentating. I'm Randy Peterson. Joining me, the Hall of Famer Chris Barnes. And we have worldwide bowling for you on tap today. It's good to see you, my friend. How are you?
Man, it's great to be back in the booth with you.
I know, man. We always work really well together. So listen, a lot went into this event, and Chris, being a numbers guy, as you all know, he's going to take us through how these final six got here.
This is really an amazing thing, Randy. It started on September 20th. We had 13,500 bowlers bowl the first round of competition. They cut down to 5,000. That round cut down to 1,000. And then in the most brutal cut of all, that cut down to 6. So we had players from 27 countries, like I said, 13,500 bowlers, almost 110,000 games, and over 50,000 hours have gone into determining these 6 bowlers.
Sounds like a lot. I'm not really good with numbers, but that sounds like an awful lot of bowling. All right, why don't we take a look at our 6 finalists, and we're going to start with a man from my mother's home country, the Netherlands, Ramon Hilferink.
Yeah, 28 years old, and like you said, he's from the Netherlands. I thought one of the more interesting things, to get through all 3 rounds, he only attempted 10 times total, including 5 attempts in the final. He averaged 276 over those 5 attempts of the games he completed, and looks like a very strong player for this event.
All right, moving along from Malaysia, it's Ahmad Ideal.
The Iron Man of this event. He qualified for the last grand finale as well. From Malaysia, bowling in the Mega Mall Bowling Center, a fantastic facility. He qualified 171 attempts, and then finally 47 attempts just to make the final. He put in the work, and it earned him a repeat performance here in the grand finale.
All right, the only U.S. player, Tyler Whittle from Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Like you said, Randy, he's 26 years old. He's the only American player. Electrical engineer. He needed all of 1 attempt to make the final. He shot 589 in that 1 attempt, and that seemed to make him feel comfortable for some reason that he was going to advance.
Pretty strong. All right, moving along from Romania, Romero Gaganoiu.
44-year-old taxi driver, and also just didn't take him long at all to get there. 588 was his qualifying score. A tremendous performance, and looking forward to see him today.
All right, and I think we would have a much easier time with some of these pronunciations if we were hockey announcers. Let's move on to Norway in Marius Kvitnes.
Marius is 35 years old. He'll be bowling from the TP Bowling Center there. Needed a few more attempts than some of the players, 30 attempts in the final, averaging 243. So his scores aren't as high, but I'm guessing he may have completed a few more games along the way. Today, all those attempts won't do a lot of good. Only one game will count.
All right, and last but not least, also from Norway, Trygve Johansson.
He is also a returning finalist. He insisted that you learn his name.
I studied for about a week on that. Yeah.
29 years old. Like I say, returning finalist. We're going to see how that experience pays off for him this time.
All right, and let's give a big shout out to our partners, Motive, KR, Strikeforce, BPAA, Lane Talk, and of course the PBA. All right, folks, listen, if you're tuning in for the first time and aren't real familiar with Lane Talk, head on over to pba.com/showdown and find a participating center near you. And if your center is currently not a Lane Talk center, also PBA.com will help you and your center become the next part of the next PBA Global Showdown. We're getting ready to start, Chris. What do we have to look forward to?
Well, we got a format here, and it's an eliminator format. And we've seen some of these in PBA events as well, but all 6 players are going to bowl 1 game. The low 2 will get cut. Those 4 players will bowl 1 more game, and they'll bowl down to the final 2 for a $20,000 first prize, all for no entry fee.
All right, let's get to the action. Truly a worldwide event, Chris, and you just look at the countries, and you mentioned it in the Open, all the players that participated, the amount of games. And so here we are, Romania, the U.S., Malaysia, Norway.
It's a pretty incredible event. 27 countries around the world, 565 centers, and it comes down to these 6 worldwide. As you can see, as we're looking at the 6 box here, lots of different styles. Got some left-handers, some right-handers, some two-handers.
Now, is that a solid 8 that I think Ramon just left? Chris, can you tell?
It sure appears that way.
And we have to start that way, really?
You're not feeling particularly lucky, but if you're going to do it, this first game will be the one. Going to check in here on Romeo from Romania.
Yeah, good shot there. And real late timing, Chris.
Real late. Got a little oil in that center there, too. That was in the shim a little bit, playing the track. And I think one of the interesting things, we'll see which centers guys are playing in and what those particular house shots look like and who it favors.
Romeo Gaganoyu, perfect through 2. And we're going to Ramon. Beautiful game. Oh, my.
Man. How good's that hand there?
Oh, my, it's beautiful. That looks like something you'd see on the PBA Tour, right? And I got to be honest with you, I'm a little partial to Ramon because my mother's from the Netherlands.
Yes. Well, and now we're going to see one of the returners, and Ahmad really put in the time last time, made a nice run last year at winning the whole thing.
Uh-oh.
Real firm speed. The shots that get him in trouble are those right there, the ones where he falls off at the end a little bit. He gets a little forward at the foul line and pulls it off that one got to the right. And in the last rumble, when he got those ones to the right, that was bad news for him.
Well, you talked about the shim. That looked like there was a little bit of the dry stuff to the right. And that ball got all the way back.
Ramon there, actually 2 pins on a shot. So an 8-pin and a 2-pin, not quite the start he was looking for. Romeo down there has an open. And now we'll head to Virginia Beach. Place we bowled that on tour a little bit.
Yep.
That looked.
Ooh.
There's a little shim there too.
Yeah.
I've seen him get it to the gutter and get it off of it. So let's get it set up there.
That looked like the high hard one.
A nice early Sunday morning, pretty empty center there right
I know,
now.
right? Thinking he's got that center to himself right about now, as do all the players from what it looks like.
Yeah, because we're coming to you live everywhere around the world, the time zones are completely different. I believe Malaysia's at 11 p.m. Tyler Whittle is bowling at 10 in the morning.
4 o'clock in Europe, 11 o'clock in Malaysia.
Obviously 10 in the morning for Tyler.
Yeah. It's crazy that you can see all of these players from all over the world, all different time zones.
We used to go to Japan and have to buy calling cards before we went so we could just
yeah.
call home.
Yep.
Now
I remember those days.
Now we have live feeds.
Oh.
So early on, max scores you can see across the board, and Ramon is early in a little bit of trouble, as well as Romeo, with a couple of misses and an open. Tyler Whittle now has another spare to shoot. Intended line right there.
Yep.
Gets it to about 5. That it comes off of it pretty good. And it's one of the things you notice when you go around the world is the house shots tend to be a little further right. It seems to me in Asia versus the U.S. they seem to be way more tracked up in between the second and third arrow.
I like that flutter, right? So it gives me a little better angle to get the loop down.
You and every left-hander in the world.
Took me a minute.
Yeah. No, actually, I would prefer to play out there as well. If I had a choice in an event like this where I was trying to make it, I'd sure like to be playing close to the gutter with something that was more stable and give me max control of the pocket. Ramon's got a little bit of trouble there. Fantastic game, but he's going to have to use a little touch, and he's been back and forth already. An 8-pin, a 2-pin, a 9-pin, and when you got adrenaline going on, when you're trying to play for $20,000 and you're trying to use touch, sometimes that doesn't work out so good. This approach here, I think, is a little more ideal, where he's all in, it appears. Much more the Robert Smith kind of uses full strength.
All right, we're going to stand by here with our standings. I think we have one more frame for Ramon to throw.
Actually, I think the scores just need to catch up. I believe he struck there, so those max scores are correct across the board. And
all right, and there you have it. Ideal, perfect through his first 5. Trygve, I think I'm saying that right this time. Trygve Johansson going at a 275 clip. Then Marius, 268. Ramon and Tyler Whittle right now tied at 259. And Romeo Gaganoyu is on the outside looking in. We're going to go to a real quick commercial break, and we're going to hear from a couple of our sponsors. So stay with us.
Your games in the phone, all stats in the phone, and global tournaments in your phone. 110,000 bowlers are already connected, so download the app today. Lane Talk, the #1 bowling app.
All right, and we're back, and take a look once again at the standings. Randy Peterson joined by Hall of Famer Chris Barnes, bringing you all the live action for the PBA Global Showdown powered by Lane Talk. If you don't have Lane Talk, folks, you're just not next level. So head on down to lanetalk.com or pba.com/showdown for more information. So, Chris, we have one player that's perfect through 5, a couple of big scores going on right now, and then one guy at the bottom there, Gaganoyu, is kind of on the outside looking in.
He is, but he's still got 254. And so 259 are the two guys that are tied for that last spot. Remember, 4 are going to advance. Nobody's really all the way in right now because 2 misses even by a deal, and he would be at 258 and could potentially be out. So a couple of single pins there could make all the difference. Nothing's been decided, and there's a lot still here on the line.
That's why he's the analyst. All right, let's pick it up now. Frame 6. Who do you think's got the best look is playing the lanes the way they're supposed to based on what they have?
Well, I think the easy call is Ahmad because he's got the front 5.
That's the safe call.
That's the safe call. I actually think that Tyler seems like he has probably the best approach and combined with what he's bowling on to finish out this game. I think he's a little bit of nerves like some of the other guys and left a couple of single pins already, but I like where he's at.
So Trygve is from Norway, and he's wearing shorts. That doesn't really compute with me. Well,
it is indoors. But I imagine it's probably a little bit cool right now.
So what, does he bring a change of clothes? But he likes bowling in shorts, and then because I'm guessing it's probably pretty chilly there.
It is, but club bowling in Europe is much different than the U.S., and so you do go to the center. You have locker rooms. You have things. They play much more like a competitive club sports and matches. So
Gotcha. Makes perfect sense to me now. a locker, something I've never had in my bowling life, ever.
Tyler from Virginia Beach.
Yeah, just straight up the gut. Uh-oh, what do you leave?
Oh, no, stone 9.
Yuck.
And that puts him in trouble. At 238, he's in trouble. Romeo did strike in the 6th. Everyone else has struck their first shot out of the break, which is, well, as you know, as a veteran TV player, the hardest one sometimes. That shot was in, and Ahmad is, if that shot struck there, that looked like a ringing 10 kind of thing, and it didn't.
All right, so right now, Tyler in trouble. All the other players keep striking. And what a way to possibly get eliminated by leaving a solid 9-pin for the lefty.
Yeah, he's in huge trouble now. Trive has come out, and well, he does have a spare now, so we have a couple of players back in play. So Romeo getting away with one right there. He was hoping a little bit.
And a miss by Ramon in the 7th.
Yeah,
so now it's got real interesting between Ramon and Tyler. You know, one of the things that I don't know is some of the rules in terms of the live feed where a player could get possibly fined, because if not, then if I was Tyler, I would have buried my foot into the ball return right on the live stream.
You're much nicer than that, but it's nice of you to cover for me like that. Yeah, as you can see, the max scores across the board there: 238, 239, 254, 258. And Ramon's in big trouble here. He can't really afford another miss. He left a 7-pin there in the 7th frame. Ahmad with his first miss. And now we're going to go with Marios, our two-hander. And obviously I spoke too loudly from here in New York.
There's
and I caught it.
There's some action to his left.
Yeah, he's a little busier there. At 4 in the afternoon, they got some play. He's giving him, hey, I'm over here bowling for 20,000.
Adil did make his 10-pin, Chris.
Yes.
And we're back to Marius. Interesting two-handed release and delivery. Uh-oh, a little light.
5-pin.
And now
all right,
things are getting real interesting.
Hands up around the world right now. And you'd think with the way two-handed revolution is kind of happening around the world that we'd have more of them. The only one in the top 6 this year. Whoa. That almost went in the gutter. And it certainly didn't overbounce off of it. Another 10-pin. And now Ahmad is in play as well. And Romeo, after being at last through 5 frames, with this next strike in the 10th frame, will lock his place into the semifinals.
Big shot coming up from Romeo Gaganoyu.
Tyler has thrown 2 in the 10th. Ramon, huge shot. Adil makes the spare. Trigve with an open in the 10th. And that is going to be devastating, I believe. Tyler Whittle has finished and completed his game for 239. And he's going to advance.
Wow. Look how close it got towards the end.
Despite everything that went the wrong way, Romeo may be okay already. As a matter of fact, with the first strike in the 10th there, good count here.
I think he's locked.
Yeah. Huge shot for... Great work by our producing crew here. Huge shot there.
Yeah, and we'd like to take a moment to thank everyone in Sweden, our production team here in New York, and also our partners in Sweden at Lane Talk that are also co-producing this.
Oof.
Yeah, all
And
of a sudden,
now,
his carry's not good.
Yeah, it's amazing when you get it going, you get away with some shots, and then you leave a few, and then you start trying. So
big finish by Tyler Whittle. He's going to lock himself, Chris.
yeah, he's locked in now at 239.
Yeah.
Trygve in trouble at 223. Romeo, provided he gets good count on his first shot. Huge shot, 238. He's still got a chance. Marius now needs this strike, and that was not good. 227 max. That's going to, I believe that's going to eliminate him from competition.
I think you're right. So I think Ramon's going to make it. Tyler Whittle. I think Romeo's in and Ideal is in. What a change of events. We had the last 5 frames of this. And that
locks him up at 250 and change, 254 max score. So big shot there, and that will lock him in as well. So despite some late game troubles, which might be concerning moving forward, no trouble there. Tyler Whittle's got to feel okay, where he left a couple of really brutal corner pin and a stone 9 and advanced through. Ramon the same way, where he kind of struggled with some carry and was able to shoot 238, and he will advance as well. Romeo with his last shot to complete a possible 254 game. 253, and that will be enough to advance as well.
So we're pretty sure we know who our last 4, or the next 4 moving forward is going to be. 2 of the hardest names to pronounce, I think. Ideal's making it, he's going on. I think Trygve Johansson is going to be eliminated. Is that right, Chris?
That is at 223 and 225 are going to be the scores that are cut out. And they will be taking home $2,000 and $1,200 each for 5th and 6th place. Well, I apologize. We had some issues with the feed. Romeo was a few shots behind, actually, and so
he's still going to make it.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. In his,
what does it say in his bio?
In his bio, he well, it is possible. He is a deviate staffer, so damn good verge. Purple hammer, purple urethane, and quantum bias are the 3 balls that he had listed. That looks a little darker than that. I think that might be.
Just curious, hard to pick it up. All right, we've got our final scores, and let's see if we can't get a leaderboard update and let you know exactly who's moving on. And there you have it. Wow, did things change late? Ideal led the first round with 257. Romeo Gaganoyu, he's moving on as well with 247. Tyler Whittle really bailed it out late, Chris, and he came in with 239, and Ramon 238. Those are your 4 moving on.
Yeah, with Marius and Trygve. Some late game struggles, both costing them late open. For one, an errant shot in the 10th frame, and Norway, who looked well represented through the first 5 frames in 2nd and 3rd, unfortunately will not be advancing to our semifinals.
All right, well, there is your standings. And Chris and I will be back with lots more action. The next 4 bowlers bowling 1 game. The next 2 will make it to the finals. And right now, why don't we hear from a couple of our great partners. All right, we are back. The Hall of Famers doing a tag team of this global event. It's the PBA Global Showdown Grand Finale powered by Lane Talk. I'm Randy Peterson, the Hall of Famer Chris Barnes. It's not the first time we've ever worked together, so we're pretty familiar with one another.
No, who'd you beat for your last title?
You?
Yeah, I remember.
All right, we are down. Sorry, but you brought it up.
Yeah.
We are down to our last 4. And, Chris, any predictions? Do you have a favorite thus far?
I mean, Ahmad got off to a great start. I'm a little concerned about how the back end of that first game went. I really like Ramon. I think he's got a little feel for the lanes now. He did not have the highest score, but I love how he throws it, and I think I'm expecting a big game here.
All right, I'm going to go with Tyler. All right, let's get in there. Our final 4 bowlers here. 1 game, and the 2 highest scores move on.
Players are able to throw shots on a warm-up lane.
Yep.
That is not the one that they're competing on, and so they're staying loose now, and we'll get reset, and we'll fire off. Again, all the pins drop,
Yep.
so nothing carries forward. These 4 players will bowl 1 more game, and the low 2 scores this time will drop. Maybe a slightly easier cut to make from the 1,000 down to these 6 that these guys have already survived. Pretty amazing. Like we said, 13,500 players competed in this, including myself. I made it through the first 2 rounds. I was traveling and bowling, so I did not bowl the last week. So I tied for probably 865th place with the other people who did not get a score in.
It's not bad.
Yeah. But I've enjoyed it. I bowled in the Rumble, too. As a matter of fact, I subbed in league, and so I got some qualifying scores and made through around there as well. But nothing approaching the 588 and 589 qualifying scores that we had a couple of these players shoot, including Romeo and Tyler.
And Chris, you know how this is all possible, how we can do this all over the world and gather all this information and be able to put on a tournament like this? Well, there's 2 reasons.
Yeah.
Well, the first one is Lane Talk, and the second one is the PBA.
Right.
And it's a great partnership. We use their stats on the PBA Tour every week on Fox and FS1, and it's the only way something like this is possible. Folks, I'm telling you, if you don't have Lane Talk, if your center doesn't have Lane Talk, it's a free app to download on your phone, and for most centers, depending on their automatic scoring systems, it's free to the centers.
Yeah, you can also follow your favorite PBA players.
And that's right.
Several of the players, including myself, their stats will be on Lane Talk from PBA tournaments that have happened around the country and at times around the world. So, well, as we kick off here, and my pick has already had a spare. So
Mine too. well, if he makes a 7-pin. But as we saw in the first opening match, I mean, a lot can change halfway through. You know, you had that one leaderboard through 5 frames. Ideal was perfect, and then all of a sudden things changed in a hurry.
Yeah, guys will have to follow themselves a little bit, and so they get a minimum amount of warm-up shots before the competition starts, and then none after that. So they'll have to move slightly as we go. But
Looking down at the approach, which is typical. It's like, when a golfer misses a putt and then pats down the divot or the little divot in front of his ball.
Yeah.
That invisible one that nobody else saw. Oh, that was jammed.
He had one of those He had one of those last game too. That and those seem to be okay. Yeah, that's his good spot right there. I think those are no doubters for him.
Yeah.
They look like they could be 10 pins, but in this particular center, that doesn't seem to be a problem.
And Chris, you just brought up something that's very interesting. Game one, Romero was on the left lane, and now he's moved over to the right lane. We're waiting to get some type of response back from Sweden. They might know why. Maybe there was an issue with that lane. But none of the other players have changed lanes.
Tyler back here, Virginia Beach. Open in the second frame.
So he missed the 7-pin.
He missed the 7-pin and then has thrown a 3-bagger afterwards. 268 still his max score. And Ramon missed the 3-6-10 as well. So a couple of missed spares. And Adil, who was the most deliberate of the players in the Rumble last time, also a tad behind pace with the rest of the guys this time.
So he's from Malaysia. How many times have you been to Malaysia, Chris?
Half dozen or so.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the a great bowling country, great bowling environment. Shaolin, Zulkifli kind of put them on the map as a teenager. She won gold medals and was dominating for a period of time. The country's sports person of the year, male or female. That's a ball change. Longer, more responsive ball. I don't know what it is, can't tell. But certainly not the bigger, slower. It looked like maybe a proton physics before. This looks way longer and sharper off the back end of the pattern.
Ideal. Perfect again. Through 3. Remember how he started game 1 with the first 5. And again, that's a sweet spot, isn't it? Oh, that was a little bit left, it looked like.
But it did hook more. He's running some of the same things. He's taking the Tommy Jones approach. If you're ahead by 20 or 30 early, it does increase your chances of winning, it turns out. So.
Oh, you'd have to know the history behind Chris and Tommy Jones, folks. It's a good one.
Romeo with front 5, though.
There's your ball change, and that one just hydroplaned. Big trouble.
He almost 4-pinned on the shot before it, moved a little left, and then that one missed everything. So.
All right, you can see your max scores right there, ladies and gentlemen. 300 for Romeo Gaganoyu. Ideal 279, 268 for Tyler Whittle, and 266,
which is going
Ramon,
down.
Which is going to go way down.
Yeah, it's going to be 242 if he makes the spare.
And there you can see it right there. Chris is so good with math.
I used to have to keep my own score. So.
You know what? How dare you say that? I'm way older than you.
Not. Great spare, though, and I think that's huge because that does leave him in play. Not in great shape, but I think he'll probably have to throw all of them from here out to have a chance.
Yeah, and the problem that I see with that, Chris, is that he makes the ball change, he strikes, and then he goes washout with that ball. So how much confidence do you have moving forward?
None.
Exactly.
None. He almost 4-pins, trips the 4, then washes out behind it. Yeah. So, as usual, the announcer's jinx has come in full force, and it seems that black clouded him.
Well, we saw a lot of things change in our first game with our top 6. We are to the top 4. Remember, folks, 2 are going to move on. We'll give you an updated standings board right here. And there you have it.
And really the difference between advancing and not advancing right now, Tyler missing that spare instead of being tied for second.
Right.
Now he's at the outside looking in with 5 frames to go.
Yeah, a lot can happen in those last 5 frames. Is that your horse? Is that your horse leading?
That's my pick.
All right. Good pick.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
Lots more action to come, folks. We're going to take a real quick break and show you some of our great partners. So stay with us. Chris Barnes, Randy Peterson, back with more right after this.
How do you know when you've found your team? Whether you're winning or just doing your best. When you're on the lanes, they're right behind you. Reunite with your team. Go bowling.
Ever wish you can bowl anywhere, anytime? Then the Strike by Bolero app is right up your alley. Compete for real-world rewards like cash and free bowling. Available for both iOS and Android.
All right, we are back. It's the PBA Global Showdown Grand Finale powered by Lane Talk. Here are your standings. Randy Peterson joined with the Hall of Famer Chris Barnes. And, of course, it's Chris's pick. Leading the way is perfect through 5. Ideal at 279. My pick, Tyler Whittle. Still in it, folks. Don't count him out. He's got a max score of 268. And then Ramon Hilferink, 242 with that big washout conversion. Will it be enough to keep him in it? Hey, it's us. Welcome back. We're ready for our last 5 frames. Remember, we're going to cut to 2, and it's going to get real interesting, just like it did in our first match. Lots can happen in 5 frames, as we just saw. So we're going to go back to the action and see who the final 2 will be. And the final 2, again, they're going to be bowling for $20,000 first-place prize money.
What do you think Ramon has to do? What should he do? He went to something that was cleaner, almost 4-pin, then washed out.
I would take the bigger ball and move in.
Yeah, move off the 3-6-10 and just move like 3 and 2.
Yeah, maybe
3 feet, 2 with your eyes.
Maybe 4 and 2, and take the big ball out because you know that's going to hook. I wouldn't stay with the one that he just went 4-pin washout with. There's no chance.
Nope. And on the front 5, and now the front 6. Great start. Whoa. Tyler almost threw it in the gutter, it looked like, and then leaves a 10-pin. And staying, oh, that's another ball change, because that's much straighter angles. And then leaves a 7-pin. And one of the things we did notice in the attempts is that either he finished a lot more games, or that center is just a little bit tougher than maybe some of the other centers, because his averages for the qualifying were lower than the other guys. Big trouble now with 231 max. Tyler Whittle at 247 coming at the next lowest. Ahmad with a chance to really step out in front here. That looked like a move off that 4-pin, and then he missed in, and it didn't hook. Randy, what would be your strategy here? Would you want to bowl fast, post a score, or do you want to see what's going on and then and see what you need?
I'd want to post. I'd want to try to apply as much pressure to my opponents as I could. So I want to get the big score out there as quickly as I can and have them look at the leaderboard and say, uh-oh, I need to do this, I need to do that, and get them thinking of something other than executing shots.
Okay.
Yeah, I think in general, once upon a time when I was growing up, it was like, oh, you know, Mark Roth or the big names wanted to finish last. You didn't let them finish last. But I think the more current philosophy has been basically get out in front, put pressure on your opponent, finish first, make them finish, and hope for a result that would be different than it normally would be, or a little less likely.
I like that way.
Romeo off to a great start, front 8. This locks him in basically at the front 9. Well, it does lock him in with any count in the 10th frame, and we're seeing why it only took him 2 attempts to qualify. Tyler in a spot where he needs them all now. And Ramon has all but eliminated now. Another move and another miss, so that's going to put him down in the sub 230 range, so in sub 220 range.
Romeo is just locked in, and now we are possibly witnessing perfection. He is on pace to shoot 300. He's got the first strike in the 10th, right, Chris?
I think he has the first 2 in the 10th.
Does he have the first 2 in the 10th?
No, first one in the 10th. First one. You were correct. I was wrong. You're right. I'm wrong. You're pretty. I'm ugly. There we go.
All right. Let's
Second
see.
one.
I'll cause some trouble for this young man here.
Yeah, I apologize, Ramon, for jinxing you. That was
I still would have gone with the
259. This is really the match right here.
Yeah.
Great shot there in the 8th frame. So 2 frames to go. 247 is. Oh. Did Tyler have? I thought Tyler struck on his last shot. If he shot. He did. He did leave a 7-pin last time, I believe. So 226 is his max, and that puts him in a really bad spot. So Romeo actually missed there in the 10th, and so, or in the 11th.
Man, it sure got messy for Ramon, didn't it?
One of the things sometimes about following yourself is that I thought he bowled a very accurate game, and with that higher friction ball, it looked like he just carved a little hole in it and created wet dry for himself.
Yeah, it got real messy on that lane for him.
Ahmad basically just needs one more strike here. I guess he needs to stay clean still.
Oh my God, he threw it in the gutter.
He did about the only thing he could do. That makes his max score 229.
Tyler Whittle is still in this.
Was Ahmad on a strike or on a double?
Ahmad was on a double. Yeah, he was on a double.
So that makes the max score 229. And the 9th and 10th to go, spare was plenty.
Now this could be an open frame if he doesn't.
If he doesn't get this, he's out.
Yeah. Got it. Ooh. Still in it.
The 8-pin was the last to fall.
All right, Chris, what does he need? A double?
He needs
and
double
9?
and 8. Double and 8.
Double and 8.
Which 8 doesn't seem to be the problem if he keeps it on the lane.
Yeah.
He may be checking the scores now. He has a Facebook feed like the rest of us, and so I assume somebody there is watching. Judging by the pace he bowls most of the time, he is one of the guys that likes to see the scores first and then know what he needs. I'm not sure it served him very well right there.
Right.
But,
I wonder if he was looking at the scores when he got up there in the 9th frame and threw it in the gutter.
And that's what he's doing now. He's looking to see. And something like this, I mean, there's not really a safe play. On the easier patterns, it's just throwing strikes.
He has to strike on this ball.
Knowing the scores is much more advantageous when the lanes are hard, not easy.
Oh, my.
Oh.
Trip 4?
Trip 4. Huge shot there.
All right, he's got to have the next one, and then good count.
Tyler Whittle also watching the feed right now with a less enthusiastic reaction to that strike, I'm thinking.
All right. And again, we told you, it gets interesting that those last 5 frames, doesn't it?
Romeo has advanced with 289, merely 5 pins under his qualifying average this time. But it really comes down to this shot right here. Must strike to have a chance.
Wow. He got it out there, Chris. It came ripping back, and he leaves a ringing 10 to lose. And our 2 horses are going to meet each other in the finale. Unbelievable finish. And there you see it right there. Romeo, Tyler advancing, but look at the gap between those two scores, Chris.
I would have never guessed that 226 would have advanced at any point, really, let alone at the 5-frame mark or at the beginning of this. It's wild what pressure and a little bit of transition can do.
Yep, that's exactly right. When you start thinking about something other than what's in front of you, it makes the body do some crazy things, and that's what pressure is all about.
Ramon will earn $3,000 for his 4th place finish. Ahmad will earn $6,000 for his 3rd place finish. Romeo and Tyler Whittle will move on and play for the $20,000 first place prize in the PBA Global Showdown Grand Finale, powered by Lane Talk.
All right, folks, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. Stay with us. Lots more to come, including Chris telling you a little bit about his upcoming trip, and it'll be the finals between Romeo Gaganoyu and Tyler Whittle. Stay with us.
Use the Lane Talk app. It gathers all your bold frames in real time, and based on the data collected, it gives you insights on how you can improve your game.
Lane Talk, the #1 bowling app.
Everyone, welcome back to the PBA Global Showdown Grand Finale, powered by Lane Talk. Randy Peterson, Chris Barnes. We're down to our final 2. And, Chris, it's your horse versus my horse. It's the 2 that we both picked to make it to the finale. But I think for my horse, he's going to have to – Tyler Whittle's going to have to somehow find a way to throw a lot more strikes.
Well, he's going to have to figure out how to get the corner pins out, and then he's going to have to make them. But Romeo has been absolutely lights out. And so it seems, judging by the qualifying scores where he shot 580, what did he shoot, 588 to make it? That being said, Tyler shot 589 to make it. So these are the 2 highest qualifiers coming in. They've continued that pattern. Romeo, however, has kept on the same average, while Tyler seems to be pretty fortunate and is on house money right now coming into the final.
Take a look at this video, folks. All right, Chris and Randy show back, and we are just moments away from the grand finale here at Bolero Chelsea Piers in the heart of New York City. For those of you that know a little bit about New York City, it's pretty close to Manhattan. It's like the west side, I think, or something. It's west side of Manhattan. But let's talk about your upcoming trip, and you're getting ready to get on a pretty significant flight going to the Middle East.
Well, 12 and a half hours from here, we're going to go to Dubai. It's one of the hubs in the Middle East for sure. It's a beautiful place and probably as close to New York City as you can get from a heights of buildings and the amount of grandeur around there. So looking forward to that. The Senior World Championships, Masters World Championships. Let's go with that. And, looking forward to my first foray there with Parker Bone, Bob Learn, and Tom Hess, my own personal kryptonite.
Wow.
So
I'm sure they have your suite ready, your personal driver, all of that taken care of.
Yes, Uber will be still in play. Right?
They have Uber in Dubai?
I think Uber's everywhere.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. Well, if not, maybe you hit up the Lyft or something, and if not, I'm sure you could hail a taxi. All right. We are ready, folks. Are you ready? Chris, you ready for this?
I am ready.
We're down to 2. It's the grand finale of the PBA Global Showdown powered by Lane Talk. Let's get after it. One from Romania, one from the United States.
One game for $20,000.
That's right. Winner gets the runner-up gets $12,000. And you know how much the entry fee was for this event?
I do.
How much was it?
Because It is right along my wheelhouse. Free, and free is me. So.
I don't know who I'm bowling, but
Chris's motto: free rhymes with me, I'll take 3. All right, folks, we are ready, waiting for the players to take the lanes. And here we are. Romeo, Gaga know you. Romeo, it's been glad to know you. Tyler Whittle from Virginia Beach, Virginia. One lefty versus one righty. Winner take all, one game.
I saw green on the live stream.
Live feed from Romania and a live feed from Virginia Beach for this finale.
You can see on the graphic up there, he bowls for the IDM club and says this is part of his thing is bowling for his club, and it would be a huge win for him to be able to pull this off. Actually, even making it to this point is huge for his club. So. Players are being informed now. We're ready to go. And Tyler, wasting no time again, is going to fire right back in. Starting off with a 6-pin.
Yeah, I think we're going to go commercial free for this finale. What do you think?
Sounds great. 10 frames straight through. Tyler's struggling in that first shot after the break, so this might work out pretty well for him that we're not taking another one and he gets to bowl it straight through. However, if Romeo keeps up that, it will not matter much. He might already be shut out.
289, the last time I checked, hard to beat. That was his last game, folks.
Yeah.
Gaganoyu. And you know the only reason why I know how to pronounce his last name is because we got an email with his voice on it that says, this is how you pronounce my last name.
Tyler didn't send us one of those.
No, oh man, wide left. I think he missed the head pin, Chris.
Wow, and Romeo got one in there and it went flush. So yeah, it looks like he left the 1-3. Not the start he wanted. You want to get out fast. One of the advantages of that is only if you strike early. But both these players play pretty quickly. They were the first 2 done the last match as well. Tyler's going to have to settle down and get it back on, get it back grooved in really quick, or this is going to get ugly.
For these two players and you know where they're at with their games and you know how much competitive bowling they do, how much pressure do you think they're feeling knowing that one game they win, it's $20,000?
I think largely because there's not a crowd and some of the things that happen around some of the other TV shows, it's really about an upper decker 10.
Yeah.
Nice. Who's around you right now? If your environment around you is super high stress and high, you know, I think that carries over to what your reality is. And but Romeo looks very comfortable.
Well, you know, the last show we did, the Rumble, they actually had fans behind them that we could actually hear.
Right. Some of the places there's people cheering them on. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I don't know how many.
Ideal for sure. Or
yeah, it was ideal.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many people got up this early for Tyler, but I'm sure that I'm sure that Romeo's got some folks that haven't gone to bed yet.
Yeah, 4 o'clock there, and as you can see, balls going down the lane, so there's people in the center. And, well, after an early lead, he's leaving a little room for Tyler to crawl back into this.
Yep. Started with the front 3, and then it's back-to-back spares if he converts here.
Tyler actually left the 1-3-9 on that shot, so count is going to be another problem because that's basically another mark at the rate that Romeo has been striking. So max score still 266, and Romeo now with 2 misses as well. 268 max score. Really the difference being the shot that Tyler missed the head pin. That one comes back off the gutter.
Yeah, and did you notice his reaction?
Yeah.
He had a nice react to that shot.
Yeah, and I think what that tells me is the guys there are telling him what the scores are and that he's still in the match. Keep grinding, keep going after it. And these guys are firing away. It's basically shot for shot. Romeo through 6 frames, now 268 back on a strike. Tyler with a chance to get this back to a 2-pin.
Oh, he was running that one out. Left the rings. Oh, he got it. Oh, a messenger. Wow. Chris, we might have to change our flights. This is going quick. Tyler Whittle with a massive messenger to kick the 7 out and keep his hopes alive. What a hit that was. Unfortunately, Romero, he keeps striking.
He keeps just splitting the 8-9 like it's his job.
I keep calling Romeo Gaganoyu. I actually pronounce his last name better than his first name. Oh, no.
Oh, and that's the problem. When you get a little excited about one shot, the next one's gas.
And, look at that hit. Romeo Gaganoyu. It's glad to know you. And a nice kick and a trip save on the 10.
In great shape now, just needs the first strike in the 10th frame, I believe. Tyler's max score now is 245.
Big one here. Oh, my.
He's a great shot.
He's got to have some folks behind him. You can see his reaction there.
He's talking to him. He's trying to find out what the scores are, and I think they just told him that Tyler missed. So we're waiting for the score to catch up.
There you go. Romeo in the 9th, right? And Tyler in the 8th. Is that what you see, Chris?
That's what I see. If that's the case, then Romeo needs this shot here to lock it up. And as a matter of fact, 8 spare strike is enough.
Oh,
and
another
now,
7-pin. Now kick the ball return, Tyler. Do it.
There it is.
There he is. Romeo Gaganoyu from Romania. He is your PBA Global Showdown Grand Finale champion. Thank you, Lane Talk. Wow. Well, Chris, you were right. I was wrong, as usual.
Tyler actually, he had the same trouble through all the games, actually. So the lane that he picked or that was picked for him turned out to be kind of his undoing because he just kept leading corner pins. And the ring 7s and those are killers. Romeo doing the same thing he did throughout the qualifying with relatively few attempts. He shot 514 in the first round of qualifying and his only attempt. He had a few more the next round, but for 263 was his average. And he only bowled twice for the final for 588. And what an amazing performance. Fantastic performance by Romeo.
And there's Tyler finishing up. It's a nice run for Tyler. Hey, the consolation prize for that really huge entry fee that you paid, I mean the one that was free, is $12,000. That's a nice take home for Tyler.
Last one just down the middle, 267, and there's your winner.
Tyler, 26 years of age, and Romeo, the taxi driver. It's going to be the biggest tip he's ever gotten in his life. $20,000 going to Romeo Gaganoyu from Romania. All right, there you have it, folks. It's Romeo Gaganoiu from Romania taking home the $20,000 first place prize money. It was the PBA Global Showdown grand finale. And Chris, some of your final thoughts on what you saw.
Well, I think there's amazing competition. Players from around the world, all kinds of styles, tons of great talent, including a few repeaters. I expect this to keep growing, and for this kind of money, maybe next time I can be in the final versus just talking about it.
All right, folks. That's all from here in New York City at Bolero Chelsea Piers. I want to thank everybody involved, the PBA, Lane Talk, obviously my co-host Chris Barnes. It's been an amazing run and a great event. We'll see you next time for the next PBA Global Showdown. Remember, for more information, head on over to PBA.com.